Namaskar and welcome to Sansad Television. I am Vishal Dahiya and you're watching our show Perspective, where we bring you detailed analysis of key national and international issues. Today we're going to talk about the effects of COVID-19 pandemic on the world of art and culture. Now, beyond the immediate threat to life, the COVID-19 pandemic has adversely affected livelihoods and the economy. The culture and art sector has been one of the most affected by this particular pandemic. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has forced cancellations and suspensions of some of the biggest cultural events organized all across the nation, which serve as a medium for education, promotion platform and transfusion of heritage as well. There have been delays and cancellations of major national and international festivals, also affecting the movement and livelihood of thousands of artists. Several steps, meanwhile, have been taken by the government during the pandemic to help artists and organizations through grant under various scheme components of Kala Sanskriti Vikas Yojana to conduct events on virtual mode. Today, we will try and understand all aspects of this particular issue and discuss and analyze them with a distinguished panel of experts. Let me first introduce them to you, beginning with, we have with us Mr. Sudarshan Patnaik, who is joining us, Padma Shri awardee and a renowned sand artist as well. Mr. Tarun Bhattacharya is also joining us, is a classical musician. And Dr. Sonal Malsingh, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, is also with us today. She is also a member of the Executive Committee of IGNCA. Welcome, all of you, to Sansad Television. Let me first begin by understanding the scope of the problem we're discussing today in terms of the effect of COVID pandemic on the world of art and culture. Dr. Malsingh, I'd like to start with you. If, we can make our viewers understand what has happened in the past 2.5 years since the pandemic began in the world of art and culture, how it has impacted not only, the performances or the concerts or the festivals as well, but lives and livelihoods of artists and other, support staff involved with these.
Thank you. It's a very timely discussion. The effect of the third wave and the third almost lockdown situation has really hit very hard. Each time it is becoming harder, especially on the artists, because I have repeated myself in every discussion on screen and off screen that the performing artists, especially the category to which I belong as a classical dancer, we are like the daily wagers. There are performances, we get paid. No performances, no money coming in. And especially those who are freelance artists, musicians and dancers, those who are associated with some organization, they still can hope for some salary grant, some little money, but the others no. Another thing is that the outreach of arts and culture, what you say art and culture, let me make it very clear. Culture is a conglomerate. It's an amalgam of arts, and it impacts society and every individual's life. These are the traditions which are built over millennia, and even today they are being observed, performed, looked at, and they inform our lives like nothing else, like no other thing. So culture and art are different, but arts are a very, very important component of culture. So culture is like the body and soul, prana of the society or of a nation. So I would say that pandemic has really hit us very hard, hit the artists very hard, hit the arts very hard. And in the next round, I hope you give me time to go into the upaya, as we call them.
Indeed.
Solutions, what can be achieved by thinking ahead. But just now, I will just
indeed.
allow the other...
We will talk about that as well, Dr. Malsingh. You're right. We will have to look at the ways in which we can tackle these challenges also. Let me also bring in Mr. Tarun Bhattacharya here. Mr. Bhattacharya, do you concur with what Dr. Sonal Mansingh was pointing out there, that indeed it has impacted the artists in a very severe manner, and also the way things have moved ahead in the past 2 years? As an artist, as somebody who's been involved very closely, and as Dr. Mansingh was pointing out, the ways and means of the artists or the performance, persons out there in the world of culture and arts.
Yes, Dr. Mansingh ji said very rightly, and first of all, my namaskar, my pranam to her and all of you. Yes, the cultural field, especially the musicians, is the most victim in our society, because our main income, as Dr. Mansingh ji said, we perform and we get paid, and out of that we survive. Especially, I would like to point out that we tour abroad each and every year, at least 2-3 times in different countries, and all the fights and all the whole world was collapsed. Till now, they are not open in a good level. Of course, the concert has started a little bit, but at this point, one thing I must add, one hope I can see, and you can say one hope I saw, that is the online concerts and online teachings and this kind of stuff. And the artists are surviving on online stuff. That's a very good thing. And when the world will be, again, we will be, all will be clear, and again will be peaceful, and we will be out of this COVID situation.
Okay.
That time also we can use the online stuff, where the artists cannot go the country. I mean, if they don't have the opportunity to bring us, to invite us, they can do the online concerts.
Okay.
And online concerts, we are also paying, getting good payment. And another thing I must say, that the generation next generation in different places in the world, the kids, they are all jailed at home. So many new students, many new boys and girls have started to learn music.
Indeed.
That's a good point. I can see that they are sitting at home, they don't go to school, and they don't go out for playing. So they have started to learn music.
Indeed.
That's also a good point.
Indeed.
But yes, I must confess that the most victim is the musicians.
Okay. Indeed, a lot of people have been affected adversely, and more so from the world of art and culture. And you're right there when you're pointing out, Mr. Bhattacharya, that art and music, has come out as a sort of tool for resilience against pandemic, has kept many entertained, has kept many busy, and more so the younger generation is turning towards art and music as well in terms of expressing themselves while being confined to their houses or other disruptions which have been caused by the COVID pandemic. Mr. Sudarshan Patnaik, I'd like to bring you in here, and if we have to understand from the perspective of people or artists from your genre, and as Mr. Bhattacharya was pointing out, one of the way out was virtual exhibitions or virtual concerts out there. How has that helped, and how has been the situation?
Namaskar. First, mera pranam, madam. Bhattacharya sir, also namaskar.
Namaste.
Already, मैडम एक्सप्लेन कर चुके हैं कि कैसे आर्ट फील्ड का जो इम्पैक्ट हुआ है पेंडेमिक के टाइम पे. बेसिकली जैसे जो पेंटर्स हैं, आर्टिस्ट हैं, हमारा यहाँ पर एक आपको पता होगा रघुराजपुर, जो इंटर विलेज के लोग पेंटर्स हैं. बट ड्यूरिंग द कोविड पेंडेमिक के टाइम में उनकी जो सिचुएशन था ऐसा था कि जैसे वो पेंटिंग्स बनाते थे और बाहर एग्जीबिशन के लिए वो जाते थे, एग्जीबिशन करते थे, वो टोटली बंद हो गया। उसके बाद हम लोगों ने कोशिश किया कि एटलीस्ट टूरिस्ट को आके उसको खरीद नहीं सकते हैं, बट वही ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म लेके कुछ लोगों ने कर पाया, बट सब लोगों को करना तो मुश्किल है, सब लोगों ने नहीं कर पाया। बट ऐसे जो फील्ड में जैसे हम जैसे आर्टिस्ट जाते हैं जहाँ पर लाइव परफॉर्मेंस होता है वहां पर परफॉर्मेंस करते थे, वो सब कुछ बंद हो गया है। बट उसके अंदर एक ही चीज सबके मन में ये आया कि हम लोग ऑनलाइन के माध्यम से अगर कोई भी एग्जीबिशन हो या सेलिंग हो, जिनकी पेंटिंग्स का सेल कर सकते हैं, तो अगर ऐसे कुछ कर सकते हैं तो उसमें एटलीस्ट कुछ ना कुछ लोगों को बेनिफिट होगा। जैसे रघुराजपुर में उनकी गांव की पूरा हर लोगों ने उनके दरवाजे पे पेंटिंग किया। हमने एक कैंप बनाया कि अपने घर का दरवाजे पे आप खुद ही पेंटिंग बनाइए, सो दैट कि हम लोग पेंडेमिक जब खत्म होगा या जब थोड़ा ओपन हो गया, टूरिस्ट जब आएंगे तो आपकी दरवाजे पे जो पेंटिंग होगा उसको देख सकते हैं। तो हम लोगों ने एक मोरल आर्टिस्ट कैंप बनाया कि आप खुद के घर में रहिए और आपके घर के लोगों को लेकर आपके दरवाजे पे पेंटिंग कीजिए। तो इस टाइप का जो मासिव सेक्शन है जहाँ पर एक कोई विलेज में काम कर रहे हैं, ऐसे हमने कोरापुट डिस्ट्रिक्ट पे जो मूर्ज का कंपटीशन किया, हमने झोटी यहाँ पे डालते हैं, तो एक विलेज को बोला कि आप अपने दरवाजे पे ही पेंटिंग कीजिए। तो इस टाइप का कुछ तो आर्टिस्ट कर सकते हैं, बट जो लार्ज फ्रेम पे वो करना मुश्किल होता है, क्योंकि ओनली एक ही माध्यम होता है कि वो ऑनलाइन के माध्यम से ही कुछ कर सकते हैं। क्योंकि हर कोई आर्टिस्ट को जो परफॉर्मेंस था जहाँ पर भी हम लोग एग्जिबिट करते थे, वो प्लेटफॉर्म अभी नहीं है। तो इसलिए बहुत सारे डिफिकल्टीज है, जो ग्रास रूट में तो इतनी डिफिकल्टीज है, क्योंकि जो पेंटिंग्स बनाते थे, स्कल्पचर बनाते थे, जो सेल था वो पूरा ये हो गया है। उनके लिए डिफिकल्ट है कि कैसे उसको वो सेल कर पाते।
Okay. So basically, what you're saying, Mr. Patnaik, is that the online mode or the virtual mode has at least maintained the continuity when we're talking about. But of course, there is nothing to beat the physical mode, that is the real exhibitions or real concerts out there, and those are what we will have to wait a little longer as well, it seems. Dr. Mansingh, do you agree with both Mr. Patnaik and Mr. Bhattacharya there in terms of the fact that the virtual mode has at least maintained the continuity? That's one part. And you were earlier talking about solutions. There have been some steps which were taken by the government as well. You're a member of, executive member of the IGNCA also. So what is it that needs to be done?
Thank you. I want to also offer my namaskars to Patnaik Babu. હું આપણકર बहुत देखी छी या बहुत एडमायर करू छी. And of course to Shri Bhattacharya ji. Namaskar. I just want to add one line for Mr. Dahejia's introduction of that I'm also Padma Vibhushan awardee, and that is of great pride for me.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think that needs to be mentioned here for your viewers. Thank you. I will just say that the musicians are luckier than the dancers, because dance is such a physical form that teaching online is very difficult, especially with the delays. Those delays, they do not give the exact
latency,
rhythm, the beat.
Latency.
So what I had suggested to some of my colleagues, and what I did was to hold mostly the theory classes, teaching them shloks, giving them stories of Shankaracharya and so many others, and prayoga and viniyogas of the hastamudras, etc. That is fine. I think it is difficult for a dancer to go online, although many have done that, in the balcony of their house, in the terrace, in the courtyard, in the living room, in the corridors. But that is not really what dance should look like. It's okay for the time being that you go on, you do something, but it does not give the essence and the beauty of dance. Anyway, we can't help that. As you mentioned, IGNCA, I'll take it up, I'll take it further. My idea is of the tangible, intangible culture.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the tangible culture, we are talking about the tangible culture, that which can be seen and which can be heard. I now want to go to the technology, because our Prime Minister has been also harping upon technologically strong India and digitizing everything. Although I personally am not a very, I'm quite a bewkoof, in computer and all that. But what we need, I think the need of the hour is not for to discuss individual performers and performances. I would rather say that isn't this the time to go technologically strong and build up collections and libraries, digitize them, where international scholars can also, the academia, the scholars, the artists, can also approach, pay money, and take the material. I think IGNCA is perhaps the only institution I can think of. And I don't know why others can't do it. The second point that I want to mention here, which is an observation, not a criticism, and that it is easily altered. It can be easily amended, corrected. See, the live performances of great musicians, of instrumentalists, of dancers, of puppeteers, of dramas, they have been sitting in the collections archives of Sangeet Natak Academy Central in the States, the zonal cultural centers, and the various other agencies, including, for Prachar, Prasar, the Doordarshan, the Prasar Bharati, so many agencies. So there is a duplication, triplication of work without the public having that advantage of seeing them, of enjoying them, of knowing what great people were there, artists were there, great art was there, what it looked like, and what we can take for today. What is the contemporary essence of those arts? We don't know.
Okay.
The solution I'm saying is that one side is, of course, the actual performances about which Sri Bhattacharya ji has spoken, Patnaik ji has spoken. I'm also speaking about that. But now I'm saying that we should think more, because this kind of pandemic will go, but other things will happen.
Indeed.
I hope they don't happen, but the way things are with the ecological imbalances, and we see all over the world, Europe now has double hitting of influenza and Omicron.
Okay.
It's all over television and newspapers. That is a twin-demic, not pandemic. It's a twin-demic now. So we don't know what is in store for us. And I don't put so much faith that once it will open, it will remain open for all times.
Indeed.
When auditoriums will open, the malls will open, the cinema halls will open.
So we have to be prepared for any other eventuality like COVID-19 pandemic as well. That's what you're pointing out, Dr. Mansingh, and that's a very valid suggestion as well. Both of them coming. I'd like to take your views, Mr. Bhattacharya, on that.
Just hold 1 second, sir. 1 second.
Please.
Let me finish, please.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Dr.
Because
Mansingh.
what I'm suggesting is something so doable, but for that we need technologically sound teams. The youngsters who are so good at it,
Indeed,
to come and sift and sit and read and prepare all these things and put them online. I think this will benefit, doubly benefit all of us. Thank you.
Okay, and that would there you're right, Dr. Mansingh. It would have a double benefit. It would not only act as preserving our heritage in terms of art and music and dance as well, but the younger generation will also get to learn more. Dr. Bhattacharya, Mr. Bhattacharya, do you agree with that?
Yes, I'm agreed, and very rightly she said very rightly. And in that way only, the next generation and we also we can have the whole culture in our मुट्ठी में आ जाएगा और हम सब enjoy कर सकते हैं. Or always I believe that we are learning each and every day new things from the artists from the different streams, different discipline. So we also would be benefited that way if this can be done.
Okay. पटनायक जी, आपके नजरिए से अगर देखना चाहें और समझना चाहें कि क्या किया जा सकता है जो कोविड पेंडेमिक में जिस तरह की मार झेली है आर्ट और कल्चर या फिर आर्ट और म्यूजिक की जो दुनिया है उसने उससे जो सीख हमने ली है या फिर लेने की जरूरत है, जिस तरह डॉक्टर मानसिंह ने भी बताया कि अलग अलग तरीके से कुछ चीजें हैं जो की जा सकती हैं, इंडिविजुअल आर्टिस्ट जो है उसके लिए भी, और एक जो दुनिया है आर्ट और म्यूजिक और कल्चर की उसके नजरिए से भी अगर देखें तो।
हाँ, ये जो हमारा जो सेगमेंट जो है म्यूजिक का, ये ऑर्गेनाइज्ड नहीं है। मेरा कहना ये है कि ये सेक्टर को अगर इसी समय ऑर्गेनाइज करके और ऑनलाइन होल वर्ल्ड में हमारा देश का तरफ से अगर हमारा कल्चर को पेश किया जाए, इफ वी कैन प्रोड्यूस आवर रिच हेरिटेज in front of the world, in different countries, it should be in a very big way, very big level, so that in the different schools and colleges all over the world can see our performances, can see our not only music, our rich heritage, this yoga, ayurveda, ये सब अगर प्रेजेंट किया जाए एकदम वर्ल्ड लेवल पे बिग वे, एकदम टॉप क्लास वे में, so that all the countries they have access to get the Indian culture.
Okay. Let's also quickly hear concluding comments from Mr. Patnaik, Mr. Sudarshan Patnaik as well. Patnaik जी, आपके नजरिए से अगर समझना चाहें क्या वो चीजें हैं जो करने की जरूरत है, खासतौर पर जो सीख हमने पाई है पिछले 2-2.5 साल में कोरोना के खिलाफ जो जंग हमारी रही है, जो लड़ाई रही है, और अगर उसको आर्ट और म्यूजिक और कल्चर की जो दुनिया है उसके लिहाज से अगर देखें तो।
एक्चुअली मैडम ऑलरेडी बहुत अच्छा सुझाव दिए हैं, जो इतना अच्छा सुझाव है कि मैं ये सोचता हूँ, जैसे मैडम बताया कि आगे क्या होगा किसको पता नहीं है, तो उसी हिसाब से हमको सोचना चाहिए कि अभी जो डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म है और जिस तरीके से हम लोग वो प्लेटफॉर्म को लेके कैसे आर्ट एंड कल्चर को आगे ले सकते हैं, उसी हिसाब से हमको सोचना चाहिए, क्योंकि कल तो क्या होगा हमको भी पता नहीं है। और जिस तरीके से पेंडेमिक का इफेक्ट हुआ है और उसमें बहुत सारे आर्टिस्ट ने ऑलरेडी उनको वो प्रॉब्लम्स हुई है कि अपने अपने तरीके से ढूंढ रहे हैं कि किसी प्लेटफॉर्म मिले। जो डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म अभी हमारा भारत सरकार की तरफ से डिफरेंट वे में दिया गया है, तो उसमें सबसे बड़ा ये है कि मैं सोचता हूँ कि सोशल मीडिया को भी उसको आगे आना चाहिए। हर कोई आर्टिस्ट का जो वर्क है और आर्ट का जो प्लेटफॉर्म है, जो मीडियम पे काम कर रहे हैं, उसको ज्यादा से ज्यादा पब्लिसाइज होना चाहिए, क्योंकि जब डिजिटलाइज होगा तभी आगे हम लोग कुछ कर सकते हैं। ऐसे बहुत सारे हमने देखा कि यहाँ पर कुछ एग्जीबिशन को ऑनलाइन एग्जीबिशन किया गया, तो उसमें भी कुछ आर्टिस्ट को बेनिफिट हुआ, जो आर्ट को देख के लोगों ने खरीदे हैं। तो इसलिए मैडम जैसे बताया कि आगे के लिए ये अभी से सोच लेना चाहिए कि हम लोग ऑनलाइन में आना चाहिए, और जो डिजिटलाइज करके जो हमारा जो आर्ट फॉर्म है उसको कैसे और आगे ले सकते हैं और पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म पे ला सकते हैं, उसके लिए सबको इकट्ठा होकर भी काम करना पड़ेगा, चाहे वो कोई भी मीडियम हो। बट मेजर ये रहना चाहिए कि उसको डिजिटलाइज लेके काम करना पड़ेगा। जैसे आज के समय पे हम जो भी चीज करते हैं विदिन ए सेकेंड थ्रू आउट वर्ल्ड पहुंच जाता है। तो इसलिए जो भी आर्ट और पेंटिंग स्कल्पचर्स, अभी मैंने देखा कि बहुत सारी जगह में इवन की जो इंटीरियर प्लेसेस में भी काफी आर्टिस्ट वो वही कर रहे हैं कि उनके काम करके वो सोशल मीडिया में उसको छोड़ रहे हैं। और वही प्लेटफॉर्म उनको एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म मिल जाए कि जैसे गैलरी पूरा ऑल द गैलरी जितने सारे गैलरी है वो ऑनलाइन गैलरी होना चाहिए। ऑल द गैलरीज का ऑनलाइन गैलरी के थ्रू हम कैसे उसको कमर्शियल एक्टिविटीज बढ़ा सकते हैं, वो जरूर देखना चाहिए, क्योंकि ऐसे बहुत सारे इफेक्ट होता है जिसमें हम लोग कुछ करना ही मुश्किल है। मैंने लास्ट टाइम हमारा यहाँ पर सैंसद फेस्टिवल हुआ, लोग तो आए बट उस तरीके से लोग नहीं आए जो लोगों के मन के अंदर जो डर रहा। आर्टिस्ट ने परफॉर्मेंस किया बट वो डर थोड़ा रह गया कि नहीं शायद कोविड का इफेक्ट होगा। तो इसी वजह से हमको सोचना चाहिए कि हम कैसे इसको डिजिटलाइज कर सकते हैं, कैसे फॉर्म को आगे ला सकते हैं। मैं सोचता हूँ कि आगे हम लोग को डिजिटलाइज और सोशल मीडिया, ये दोनों को डिजिटलाइज तो सोशल मीडिया के अंदर आता है, बट सोशल मीडिया को भी थोड़ा ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट देना पड़ेगा कि आर्ट एंड कल्चर को और आगे लाने के लिए।
Okay, indeed. Thank you so much there, Mr. Sudarshan Patnaik, Padma Shri and well-known Sen artist as well, Dr. Sonal Mansingh, Padma Vibhushan and member of Rajya Sabha, and also Mr. Tarun Bhattacharya, well-known classical musician, for sharing your views and insight with us and our viewers. There it is, as our experts and panelists were pointing out that indeed the COVID-19 pandemic has had a devastating impact on the world of art and culture. The artists and performers there and other support staff as well has faced a lot of hardships during this period, but there have been some learnings also. We've learned some lessons, and those lessons need to be implemented in the form of various policies, various tweaks in the world of art and culture as well. And those implementations will eventually prepare us for such challenges in the future also. We'll come back again on Sansad Television with a different topic. Till then, keep watching. Thank you.